former Olympic champion Dylan Fletcher, today driving on the starboard side of Team INEOS Britannia, challenger of record for the 37th America's Cup. Dylan, today a different agenda. Can you share the main insights of the day?
Yeah, a little bit of a different day for us. We had some of the Mercedes AMG F1 guys down, so we had Louis, George and Toto. It was quite cool. It was great to give Toto and George a ride in the Yacht, so yeah, it was good to see how much they enjoyed it and get George driving and Toto in the cyclor position.
Were you able to exchange any valuable information in terms of how to drive an America's Cup boat compared to a Formula One car?
Yeah, we tried to give them a bit of an insight. You know, they showed us the sim, so maybe we'll go along and they'll let us take their F1 car for a spin.
In which areas did they say they find the biggest differences?
I think it was a lot of differences in reality compared to the racetrack. Obviously, we spend a lot of time sort of focusing on the straight lines as well as the corners, whereas for them, obviously, much more about the drivers in the corners, you know.
How different did they think your simulator was compared to theirs?
I guess it's got a few things similar. Obviously, we have that partnership with Mercedes, but ultimately it is quite different. You know, at least that we have, you know, multiple people in our simulator, whereas they're just in it on their own.
Then moving into the training on the water, some non-organized interactions with Luna, Rossa, Pierre, especially at the beginning of the day. How did it go?
Yeah, it was okay. I think probably, again, like always, everyone's trying to work out things, but it was quite shifty, so I think it was okay, and I'm sure it will continue.
Any takeaways in terms of comparative performance, even though you were sailing with different head sails?
Not too much. I think we were on the wrong head sail, as you say, but it's kind of interesting to see.
Do you spend any more time at this stage of the program on analyzing your rivals?
I guess we look at the recon as all teams do, and but other than that, you know, and seeing occasionally these loose lineups, there's not really much, you know, we can be doing.
We're getting close to the end of the recon program. What do you plan afterwards?
You'll have to wait and see.
Well, we won't be here to see. Then, unfortunately, towards the end of the day, a minor breakdown that forced the sudden end. What happened?
Yeah, we're just, you know, pushing the limits, and you know, we maybe just went a little bit over, but I think we'll be all good and back out tomorrow with that jib.
Was the break on the sail or on the halyard?
I can't remember.
Okay, thank you very much.
Terry Hutchinson, you were on the chase boat for American Magic today, watching what looked like a pretty productive day on the water.
Yeah, I mean, we had, we went off the dock. I think we were expecting a little bit more breeze early on in the day, but we got out there. I think we were sails up by and on the hook by about 11:20, and got out there and did one attempt in about 4.5 knots, 5 knots to get out of the water, and she didn't want to go in that, and so we bow towed up towards our race course, and you know, there was 6 to 7.5, and so we got into some sailing there, which was nice. And you know, we know on this race course that when you get into that easterly direction, that the starting line is going to be quite tight down on the Olympic port, and so you know, we set ourselves up in that area, and you know, you do the best job you can at trying to get a feel for the race course. But you know, it was good to see, you know, INEOS and the French and the Italians were all out, and you know, it's fun to see. You can feel the regatta for sure coming at you. So in that regards, it was really good, and we ticked off a little bit of sail crossover. I think, you know, and a little bit of just working on the settings of, you know, performance in the boat.
We noticed an issue with the cover for the Hetzel Traveller. It's been on and off the boat a couple of times.
Yeah,
is it proving tricky?
Well, you're playing around a bit with the jib car sweep, and so in that vein, you know, you want to have the perfect seal to that. And it's impressive when you look around the fleet. you know, the Italians have come up with a really nice system on their boat, and so, you know, what you can't underestimate is the development that you get out of looking at others through the great work that the recon teams do. You know, you see a lot of really good ideas, and so we're working on trying to refine some of that aero stuff on the platform and getting it. But as you saw, you know, it's about the 6th time that cover has been on and off, and you know, so it'll be a work in progress, I suspect, up until about August 29th.
We're here in Barcelona with Enrico Boltolini, cycler for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Enrico, great day with 8 to 10 knots, east wind with an asymmetrical round swell that made look the Mediterranean like an ocean. What were the goals for today?
The goals for today is basically collect some data in the first part, and then we go into some races and exercise more for sailor than the designers.
You had some crisscrossings today with INEOS. How was the mood on board? Like, was competition mode, some tension?
It's always when you find somebody, some competitors outside, you're always pushing a bit harder, and yeah, it was good.
Then by the end of the session you did some small lineups with the boards down. What was the goal for that?
Yeah, just practice some technique and something to try in the racing. And just...
Enrico, you had a nautical engineer and you're a successful sailor in fin and star classes, so you have a sailing background. Moreover, delivering power. Is your role involved in other functions when sailing, and if so, which ones?
Yeah, obviously I can help the afterguard in some function, and but let's say it's a sort of a backup.
Sort of backup, but you can say which functions maybe?
Yeah, some small functions, scanning arm, front sails, and something like that.
Then from the last recon reports that we have seen, when there is a cycler swap, you have just gone for 2 cycler replacement, and normally you're staying on board. Is that correct? And if it is, why?
Yeah, just I'm participating in the development of the boat, and we are developing this boat, so it's good for me to stay on board and see what's happened with the systems and everything.
Are all cyclers delivering always the same amount of power, or are just like 2 of you delivering like a constant power and the other 2 sprinting to deliver the instant power peaks that you may need?
It obviously depends where you are on the race course, and pre-start or upwind, downwind. We are more or less in the same average of power.
Looks like you're quite hidden in the pod, as summer in Barcelona can be really warm. And with high humidity, how are you dealing with that?
Just a lot of water and try to stay cold with some ice and breath outside the cockpit when you're not pushing the boat.
Okay, this one is for the sailors and bike lovers. How would you compare riding in your pod on a wavy day in terms, let's say, of bike style? Like you would compare it with road biking or gravel or mountain bike or even downhill mountain bike?
I like to put a bike on top of a washing machine and full 2000 RPM.
Okay, now to finish, I think today is your 17th sailing session here in Barcelona. After this period, how confident are you with the Barcelona conditions?
Yeah, it's pretty difficult because we are seeing this strong sea breeze, and this in the late summer this is not what we are going to expect. So it's going to change when the water warm up a bit, the sea breeze slow down. So we'll see.
Great. Thanks so much for your words, Rico.
Ciao.
Ciao.
We're here with Frank Camas, Head of Performance at Orient Express Racing Team. A light wind day, can you break down the objectives?
The objective today is continue the commissioning of the boat, so we worked a lot on the tuning of the systems. We have still some issue, but we improve like that to use well the boat. At the end, we finished the day very well. I think it was the best time for us from the last 10 days, and we are happy how it finished the week.
Can you give us a hint as to what issues you were having problems with?
No, it's always very small issue, but it's more the calibration on the system and the valves tuning, something like that. It's not a big issue, but it's always a long time to take to tune it. Yeah,
so it was quite light in the beginning of the session. Can you tell us what speed you were able to take off at?
Well, I think it's almost like the others. It's around the 16 knots boat speed. But today the wind shear was very light at the bottom, so it was hard, and we didn't use the G1 at the beginning. So we were waiting the good wind at the end.
And how do you feel about where you're at this stage in the campaign with 2 months left to go before racing?
2 months is never enough, but we have to use it with most efficiency. And I think we can start to think about the performance after CLGP next week. And this is good, and we are confident with the boat anyway, because the feeling is good. When we can use it well. It's not always the case, but when we can use it, it's very nice.
And what are the most important areas of focus for the team?
To focus on the team, the boat handling first for sure, as usual. But the boat handling is very linked with the reliability of the system and the power portal also. I think first we have to understand very well how to tune with the power guys and the power system to use well the boat, because after that I think the sailors have the very good way to use the boat, because we learn a lot with the simulator. I think they are good on that, but for now they cannot do what they want to do all the time.
And were you able to use the simulator to get ahead in terms of control setup and logic systems?
Yeah, we use, and when we test something, when we want to test something on the boat, we have to test first on the simulator, and this is the way we work.
Frank, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.